Okay, this is Bonzo's second update. We had the vet get out here, and he didn't seem too concerned with it being just regular white line disease, or that's bad enough. But he wanted me to cut it back more with my Dremel, which I knew he was going to tell me to do that. He told me don't be concerned with getting a little blood because I knew that was going to happen. But I told you before, I like a vet telling me in front of the owner of the horse before I do it. Because this is a serious case of white line disease. I just trimmed a little bit of it back to see, and the hoof is growing. So that's a very great positive that it's growing. As you can see, this is I've already trimmed this. This is all new growth right here. In just 2 weeks, so it's growing. And I cut some off of this in here, and it is growing. This is the bad foot. It's got a little bit of growth here. See, you can got some right here. So that's great. See, all this that's all new hoof coming in. So that's what you want. But we got a long hair. I'm going to use some epoxy resin and put a bead of glue. This gets as hard as the hoof. And then try to give him something to stand on because we're in a catch-22. He needs a shoe, but he's got nothing to nail to for me to put a shoe on there. So I'm going to try to put a epoxy resin just here, because the one thing you don't want to do is cover any of this up. Any of that. You don't want to cover none of that up and hide it. That white line disease can hide, and believe me. So we're going to Dremel it back, cut it back as far as we can, and see what we can do with the shoe. We just got a little piece right here we got to get to. Alright, let me see if I can cut some of that with my knife. We're getting there. We gotta get it all the way back. To where it's regular hoof. Dry hoof. This stuff is so treacherous that it can just keep coming back if you don't get it all. It hides in crevices. See, it's mucky right there. We got a hole basically up under this right here. Finally. All right. That's all hoof there. That's all hoof. All right, what I'm doing now is trying to give Bonzo something to stand on. So I'm using some super fast equithane. I don't know if you can see it. I already got one little layer on there. And what I'm doing is trying to give him something to stand on. We're trying to give him something to stand on here so he's got some support to keep him off that sole a little bit. He's got the inner wall, but that's all supposed to be covered by the outer wall. So I'm gonna put one more little. Yeah, now we're getting there. And then we're going to try to get a bar shoe on here. The vet wanted a shoe on here for support, and he's right. But I've got nothing to nail to. And I don't like using glue when I'm fighting white line disease, because you're not supposed to cover it up. But as you can see, all this is going to be exposed. I'm just making a layer here I'm going to try to glue the shoe on, see if that'll stay. So what I'm doing here is trying to build him something to stand on around here. Got it on good on this side. I got to get some more over here. There. So what we do is put it like this. As you see, I have to use rubber gloves for this. Now that should be enough for him to give him some support. And I gotta let it dry a little bit. And then I'll put a piece of cardboard down to help it smash around to give it a little support where it balanced out. And then I'll rasp off the excess cardboard, and then I'll start with the shoe. We got a ways to go. We're going to try to build him a foot to stand on, give him a shoe for support. This is the outer wall. This is inner wall, and it connects to the lamini. This is supposed to be covered. We got it cut back. This was a bad, you seen the video before when this piece was down. This was all still attached to the foot. And that's why I wanted to vet here, and he told me I got to cut this back because it's hollow in there, which I knew it was, but I knew it was going to bleed when I did this. And as you can see, it's got some blood there. And the vet said that in front of the owner and everything. Don't worry about it. It's not that bad. So it just has to be done. So now, like I said before, I trimmed a little bit off in just a couple weeks. It's growing, so that's really good. So hopefully we got it cut back far enough now where that stuff will stay dead and not hide anymore. What I'm going to do is drill a couple back holes in this shoe to give it me a nail hole in the back, which I don't like doing either. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing that I don't like to do. And so I'm going to drill a back nail. So I got something to place, somewhere to put the nail. All this is just going to be doing is holding the shoe in place for that glue to harden up. See, that comes right off. And then I'm going to rasp all this down level, and that gets the excess cardboard off. Then we're going to see how the shoe's going to fit on here. Okay, we got a solid fit all the way around. Now we're going to attempt to glue the shoe on. Wipe the foot down with acetone to help get the oils off and the shoe. I know you can't see me, but I'm putting glue on this shoe. And then I'll rasp off the excess stuff after it dries. So, right about like that. There he is, eating his hay. He's standing firmly on it. I got the shoe on the other one. This one, as you can see, I got the epoxy resin just down on the bottom, just for him something to stand on, all the way around the hoof. There's the bad stuff. I can't cover that with the epoxy resin. I've watched a lot of videos on this, and I hear them saying, yeah, we got to let air get to it. And then they wrap it up with Equicast and cover it all up. Do the exact opposite of what they're talking about. And I never see no updates on how the horse's hoof turns out. Good or bad, I'm going to keep updating this because the thing about it is having horses is a great thing, but you know what? It's a job. And it can be tough. And it can be hard. Some people can get lucky and never have anything go wrong, but when you do, this is the kind of stuff that you have to deal with sometimes. So, we got a long road ahead of us. If we're super lucky, which so far we haven't been, 6-8 months, I would say at least a year for that to get all healed up. But I will tell you, within a couple months, or at least a couple months, I'll be able to tell if it's getting better. Keep watching. And he let me put the other shoe on there, just to give you know, he's a very tough horse, because the reason he was fighting me so much to nail the nails in on this, and he was hurting more than what he's letting us know, because he let me nail this shoe on with no problem. So he's really, really sore on this foot, but he's walking without a limp, without lameness, so it's throwing us a loop. So that shoe will help. We just got to make sure and hope and pray that I got all that stuff cut back, because that was really far back there. So anyway, keep an eye out for the rest of the updates. Keep praying for old Bonzo. He likes his hay. See? He was happy. Well, he only hated when I was nailing the shoe on. But he's trying to be a good boy. All right, see you next time.